There you go. So, hi, my name is Philip Renes. This is Grippy Pod. This is what I named the podcast. Um, Today, I have the honor to interview Emily, who is a co-designer at ByHeart Group, and she's also an inspired aerospace engineer. So, hi, Emily. How you doing?
Hi, Philip. I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, good. Good to see you. Well, let's get right into it. The questions I had for you. Just tell me about yourself right now. Tell me about yourself. Who are you and what you do?
For sure. So my name's Emily. I am a co-designer intern at Bayer Group, and um, I went to Warren High School, same as you, and I'm going to be attending Harvey Mudd College of Engineering in the fall. So I'm going to be studying engineering in hopes of like adjusting my courses to be an aerospace engineer. Yeah.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice. So, what was your main major when you first in? Like, was aerospace your main major or no?
Yes. So I've always been interested in engineering. I kind
Okay.
of did the Mr. Menjivar's pathway courses when I was in high school, and that kind of inspired me to go into like what I applied for was mechanical engineering specifically, because
Mm.
that allows you to be more versatile as an aerospace engineer. Um, but yeah, and Harvey Mudd specifically, you can only major in engineering because they want to give you a very broad foundation of engineering. So
Wow,
I'm going to be specifically tailoring my courses towards mechanical engineering.
wow, that's really cool.
Thanks.
So, what influenced you to become an aerospace engineer, or what influenced you to major in it?
I think the inspiration started back in middle school. I was one of those robotics kids who kind of was going to the VEX competitions and all that.
Mm.
And I got to high school, and Mr. Menjivar was a huge part of my inspiration. So he kind of basically said, "We need engineers. This is the stealth career, and we need more women in engineering. So you should be an engineer." And I was like, this is pretty interesting. And it, that's how it happened.
That's great. Yeah. So, what are your plans like going forward with this major? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your dream job or goal, overall goal?
Most definitely. I'm definitely hoping to work in aerospace, and if I can, maybe bring an aspect of sustainability to it. So, you know how we've made the car industry more sustainable, and
Hmm.
we've really revolutionized the way we design cars to be more efficient. I kind of want to do that, but with planes, whether it's creating greener fuels and more biofuels, or whether it's just more sustainable alloys used in airplanes, whether it's military craft jets or like sending rovers up to space. Literally anything sustainable in the world of aerospace. I'm hoping I can go into that.
Wow, that's really cool. So, do you think sustainable energy and like finding new ways to reduce the amount of energy we use is the next step for aerospace?
But yeah,
That's
most definitely.
great. Yeah. So, if you had to choose or had the ability to choose once you major in aerospace, what project would you love to work on first?
See, I'm definitely leaning towards possibly going into the world of like spacecrafts. So I'd love to go work for a company like NASA or Boeing or Lockheed Martin because it's the dream.
Mhm.
So I definitely like to go work for a company like that.
That's really cool. So, what are your thoughts on space exploration? Now that we mentioned that, like, what do you think is? Do you think is beneficial for us, or do you think like what's your overall thought?
I know there's a lot of conflicted opinions on it. I think it's good,
Yeah.
and there's a
Hmm.
lot we can discover and learn from space, but I also think that it's important to focus in on what we have here on Earth. And again, that sustainability portion of just trying to make our planet better and see what we can do here as well as in space.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's crazy because like I know like this is a STEM major and there's not that many women in STEM majors. Like, has that been a challenge so far in basically continuing this major, or is not really a challenge?
See, well, starting in middle school, because I started robotics in middle school, I
Hmm.
was one of two girls on the team. So I definitely noticed a difference in the balance of females versus males.
Hmm.
So I've noticed it, but it hasn't really been a challenge. I think if you start at a young age and you know that you're passionate about something and you stick with that, then that teaches you to face challenges. And I think it's definitely helped me to become braver when standing up to guys, especially when on robotics and different competitions like that.
Yeah, that's really great. So you're talking about robotics. What did you do in robotics? Have you been in robotics for many years, or did you have you won any competitions or?
A couple. I did Skills USA mobile robotics in middle
Uh,
school, and we actually got gold at states. So it's this crazy story. Our cortex ended up dying on us right in the final round, so we had to like take a 10-minute break really quick. We were like, hold on, and we completely rewired and reprogrammed it in like 10 minutes, and then that they were like, whoa, and that won us the match. And just crazy stories like that.
that's
So
really cool. Yeah. So talking about like rough patches, like I know you're not really that far into becoming an aerospace engineer. I know you're still in school and stuff like that.
mhm.
But have you experienced any rough patches that had made you rethink your career path or your major?
Oh yeah. I know the average college student changes their major like 7 times in
Mhm.
college. So I don't know what the future holds, but for a while I wanted to do, I considered doing computer science or chemistry or just doing like veterinarian sciences or even marine biology. Like I've known that I wanted to do a STEM field
Mhm.
and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I knew that it was aerospace in my last like 2 years of high school because that's when I really solidified like, oh, this is what I'm kind of interested in.
Mhm. So what made you stick with aerospace?
It was the mechanical engineering aspects of, I think it was specifically my principles of engineering course. Mr. Menjivar had us doing all these hands-on projects, and he was like, "This is what you'd be doing if you took mechanical engineering." And he showed us his textbooks, and it was really inspiring. And I was like, this is fun. I'm really interested in this. Like, this
Mhm.
is what I want to major in.
So you think if you would like restart your career, let's say like you're a freshman, like
Mm-hmm.
freshman in high school, like do you think you would be in the same position you were in today, or do you like the knowledge that you have now? Let's say you take it to being a freshman in high school. Do you think you would change your career, or do you think you'll still be in the same position you are right now?
That's a good question. Um, I don't think I'd change anything, simply because I think the experiences that we go through, they shape who we are today. And I think I'm really happy with where I want to, what I want to study and where I'm going right now. It's been a heck of a journey, but I think I wouldn't change anything.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's really cool. So, other than school and like aerospace, what other roles do you play outside of it?
Outside,
Yeah, like do you have any other activities you do, or any other hobbies that you do?
see, I was one of those kids who never had any free time. I ran track and field for most of high school.
Mhm.
I was a sprinter, and I
Nice.
did a lot of volunteer work with like the Red Cross, with organizations like Compton Initiative. So I did a lot of volunteer work, a lot of church volunteer work, and sports along with academics. So
Wow.
a few hobbies.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you.
So, I know you're a co-designer intern at Byheart Group. Like,
Mhm.
how has your experience been there so far? Like, would you recommend it to other people, or
Definitely.
just yeah?
I'm so glad that you're taking part in the internship this year because
Hmm.
it's really an awesome program. I went through it last summer and it really, not only did it help me get into college, but it just helped me to be a better professional, just better in the workplace in general. And it's been really fun. And I got rehired in October to help make this program for the new interns. And I'm super happy that it's just been a success so far. I think, I hope, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I know you're like engineering and stuff like that. Like, but what actions do you take on becoming an engineer? Do you do like any activities on yourself, like coding, or like do you still do robotics or stuff like that?
I haven't done robotics, well, COVID and everything, but I stopped doing robotics freshman year of high school. And then I just did programming through the engineering path. But I did have a couple internships. I interned for a company called Moog. They're actually an aerospace manufacturing company in Torrance. And they taught me some programming skills in MATLAB and Simulink and So that also kind of inspired me. I was like, wow, this is what it is to actually work in the industry. And I really enjoyed it. So I was like, this is what I could see myself
Yeah.
doing.
Uh,
And just experiences like that and reaching
mm,
out for opportunities.
mhm. So you as like an inspired aerospace engineer, what do you think on like the technology we have now, like Tesla? Like I know the other day, I forgot what company it was. It was a private company that actually launched the first commercial airplane space or
Mm-hmm.
like a rocket space, like to space, and like they came back and landed safely. Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
think aerospace engineering is at its peak right now, or do you think it could be better?
I think there's always innovations to be made, honestly. I
Hmm.
think I heard something similar, and I also heard that the first flying car actually had its test run over, it crossed the Atlantic Ocean. So I just think there's so much to innovate and discern in the future, and we can only go up from here, you know?
Hmm. Would you do you see flying cars in the future?
We're into some back to the future kind of stuff.
Yeah,
You know, if they start doing like highway patrol with airplane cars, who knows? It might be an interesting world we live in.
there would be so many accidents, don't you think?
Honestly, I think it'd take a little while to figure out. It'd be kind of crazy,
Yeah,
but cool.
yeah, really cool.
Mhm,
Okay, back to like space exploration.
mhm.
Do you think we'll be able to colonize Mars ever?
You
It's like
know,
a deep insight question.
a deep insight question. Honestly, I don't know. I know that they're coming back with samples from Mars, and by the time they come back
Heard,
in
yeah,
2025, it'll be good, and we'll get to see
yeah,
even more. But who knows? The future, we just have to wait and see what the future holds, you know?
yeah, yeah. Because honestly, that's one of the reasons why I also want to be an aerospace engineer. Because
Mhm.
like, imagine like going to Mars and like being a part of a project. That'd be like so great.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other crazy question. Do you think aliens exist?
You know, it's a big galaxy. It's a big universe.
Hmm.
So who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Well, I heard that. Well, I feel like if aliens were to exist, like they wouldn't be so smart as us because like wouldn't they take over us already? Like wouldn't they take over our planet already? Like I feel like if there is life out there, it'd be
Yeah.
like a little bug or something like that. I know
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Me
But
too.
yeah, so now that you are a college student and you graduated from high school, what advice would you give to an incoming freshman in high school, or what advice would you give to anyone in high school right now, like myself?
Hmm. I think I would recommend that you try everything that you can. Just find what you're passionate about because you never know where life is going to take you. And if you discover what you're passionate about, you can never go wrong with finding a job because half the jobs that the new generation is going to be working in probably haven't already been created yet. They're yet to be created. So innovation comes about when people are passionate about something and they make that into a career. So for you and for all future freshmen, just try everything, find your passion and use that and you can't go wrong. Just
Mhm.
follow it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think robots forever to take over all our jobs?
You know, Terminator is not too far off, you know? It's kind of crazy how much technology has advanced where they have
Yes,
been able to just do work more efficiently. That is
yes,
another good topic.
yes. That's a whole different story. But yeah, but just like I like asking people that are really interested in STEM age like that, like what are their goals or like what do they see in the future? Because it's like people like yourself are the people that are gonna influence the impact technology has in the world in the future. And
Hmm.
so it was really cool, and then especially seeing different type of variety of people just like going to STEM and talking about all these ideas that they have. And like sometimes it could be scary because we don't know what other people are thinking. Maybe they want to like do something good with technology or bad with technology. And
Mhm.
so like that's honestly one of the main reasons why I'm so interested in STEM majors like that too, and talking to people like yourself that are really well into the major.
Most
But
definitely.
yeah, yeah. So going inside your major, have you learned a lot lately? Like, have you like worked with any actual physical projects in school or no?
Yes, I've well, apart from projects that I did in Mr. Menjivar's classes, I've also worked on just in the internship. Um, I've worked with Kelly Cooper on helping to create the start of um, a game production and programming class for the Downey Unified School District. So we started making these articles on different game production topics and how you would start programming a video game, and just like a basic course for like for middle school students, but still something that would help kind of kickstart an interest in computer science for younger kids. So just trying to keep up on my programming skills, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm talking about programming. Do you like coding or do you code or anything like that?
I do. I was the main programmer for my team in both middle school and high school, so
Oh wow,
it's
that's really cool. That's
definitely.
really cool. What language are you like familiar with? Like
Oh,
language,
what
like
languages? Sorry.
yeah.
I know
You're fine.
Robot C, and then I know a little bit of MATLAB and Simulink, and a little bit of C Sharp. So,
Oh wow,
mhm.
that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So other than aerospace, if you weren't doing aerospace, what else would you be doing right now?
Honestly, if I wasn't doing aerospace or mechanical engineering, I'd probably be doing something along the lines of civil engineering or architecture, just
So
because design and building design is kind of fascinating.
yeah, it is really
Mhm.
yeah. I actually have a lot of like well my have friends that are already like going into like being engineers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And most of them have actually done civil engineering just because they didn't really want to get into like those hard STEM majors like computer science and stuff like that. And so
Gotcha.
like a lot of people were scared like to like be challenged because I know aerospace is one of the hardest engineering majors to like really major in.
Mhm.
And so a lot of people have been really challenged and scared to not go into those majors because of like the hardship other people have gone through and like they heard. Did that ever stop you? Did that ever has like did you ever hesitate or stop to think like, wow, like I'm really gonna get into this really hard major and I really have to like, put in the work and time into it.
Right? Like, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, well, people did tell me, they were like, "Oh, you're going into aerospace. You're gonna have the hardest classes and the most classes, and it's gonna be crazy. And how are you gonna sleep?" And I was like, "Well," I was like, "Ah, honestly, I'm still down to do aerospace engineering simply because it's what I'm passionate about. You know, you put in the extra work, and it'll be worth it in the end. And
Yeah.
props to you for also going down that path. You know."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited. Yeah, because I'm already in my senior year of college. I mean, high school. Already
Mhm.
getting ahead of myself.
Oh no.
And ever since like high school, like I was like deciding what to do. I was like I'm gonna become a chem major. Then I was gonna like study like be in the FBI or something. But ever since I forgot when it was, but I'm really passionate about like Elon Musk and like his like
Good.
successful landings. And once I heard about his landings, I was like, wow, that's really cool. And
Mhm.
I just been very inspired into aerospace now. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I asked you that because people have also told me like, what are you gonna study? And then I tell them aerospace, and they're just like, whoa, like it's hard. It's gonna be hard for you, and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And then especially for you, that now that you're in there,
Mhm.
it's like I need to ask you that question.
Most definitely.
But the last question here, what is the environment like so far in like collaborating with other engineers? Because I know you go to a full-on engineering school. So what is the environment there, and how is it? Did you expect it to be like that, or did you not expect it to be like that?
Honestly, when I I went and visited the campus, and I've heard a lot about the campus, and I've interacted with some of the students. And one thing about my specific college is that my freshman class is only like 200 students. So it's a really small, tight knit group. But one of the things that I loved about the school when I applied is that it's a very supportive community, and people actually encourage you to work together rather than separately on projects. So it's constant collaboration, constant working together, and constant bonding, and yeah, and that's kind of what drew me to the college. So,
That's cool.
mhm.
That's cool. Well, okay. Today will be a wrap. Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing your story with us. I really enjoyed it, and I wish you really well in your career. And well, who knows? Maybe one day we could work on a project together.
I'd be down. The next Elon
Yes.
Musk will be here.
Yes. Legit. Okay. Thank you guys, and thank you for everyone who's gonna view this, whoever saw this, and we'll have a good rest of your day and have a wonderful time. Thank you again, Emily.
Thank you, Philip.
Bye.